I encourage all of us, of whatever belief we come from, to put forward our questions of our basic narratives of the surrounding, the word, the faith, the religion, the politics, the economy, the word that we do, anything that is happening around us. What is wrong in asking question? There's nothing wrong. You connect the past developments with the present concerns, and don't be afraid of any sort of pros and cons or controversial issues arising around us. Why it is important to ask question? When I was born, I was put under a pressure. There was a religious, social, every sort of pressure by the elders, siblings, and the leaders of the society. Whatever belief we have been following, whatever path we have been following throughout ages, you gotta follow the same path. Be it religious, be it cultural, everything. You were not supposed to ask questions, and that's where the difficulty lies. That's where all the trouble lies. When your subordinator, could it be a parent, could it be elder, could it be your own leader of the community, religious community, I don't want to get into the politics of all sort of it, and could be your own manager, could be your own boss, your director, anybody. When they put you under pressure not to ask question, your limitation of growing to full potential stops there. You become the frog of a well, who has a confined boundary, who has a confined premises where he can jump around, and he cannot come out of it. He doesn't know about the river. He doesn't know about the horizon of a big land. So that's the trouble. That's the main thing. As a developer, as a consultant, or as a contributor, individual contributor, I cannot give food, clothes, and do monetary help to the people who are far away from me. But yes, in the surrounding I can do that. I do try to do it, but I can try giving the clarity. I can try give you some sort of vision which may help handful amount of empower handful amount of people, about the surroundings, about the faith, about the religious, about the culture. And I'm not here to deny the fact. I'm not here to put anything which has worked for over 2000 years for anybody, any section he belongs to. I'm not here to deny the fact that religion, culture is a beautiful thing when it is understood with clear vision, when it is understood after getting certain questions answered. When Arjuna was supposed to put an arrow on his bow to, against his own people, he had to ask several questions before he could fight with his own people. He had to ask this question to Krishna. Fortunately, very fortunately, Krishna was there to answer all his questions, which were not letting him, clear his own mind. His once it is written in the Gita that even Arjuna felt that the mind is something which he can't control. It's more than difficult than to control a wind. Why? Because his mind was pouring thousands of questions. For what reason is going to fight with his own people? Unfortunately, Krishna was there to answer those questions. When Gautama the Buddha was not feeling comfortable in the luxuries, provided by his own parent father, to ensure that he does not become a sage, he does not become a saint, which was predicted by some, uh, you know, astrologer or some scholars, that he will either become a king, famous king, or become a sage. So his father was afraid. He put him under utmost pleasure, and he was feeling uncomfortable without getting his own questions answered, which was pouring in his mind. When he came out of this comfort zone of, the palace, he went along with chariot, and he asked several questions. Few of his questions were answered, but in a very negatively way. He did not have the right explanation by his chariot. So he went in search of answers. He went in search of reality. He went in search of the 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 entire existence of his own. And after several years of practicing vipassana meditation, he was able to figure out what's his role all about as a human being. And he gave a tremendous tool of meditation to the world. Unfortunately, that tool has not been transformed through the generation. What has been transformed is just a religion. That's the only trouble in this world. Prophet Jesus, he came with the mission of humanity. All came with the mission of humanity. They passed one tool, but that has not been transformed. What has been transformed is the culture. All the culture, you know, religion became the culture. I don't really don't want to get into that, otherwise people will be after my life. So I stick to the point of asking the question. So what am I trying to convey a message to you? If you are a part of an organization, if you're part of a society, if you're part of a nation, you are supposed to ask question to your own people, to people whom you support, whom you vote, whom you do anything in in a company where you work in. Artificial intelligence, cloud computing, SD-WAN, machine learning, all these things, people think that they will crumple the industry, they will take away the jobs. Any, just think about 100 years back, when or 200 years back, or if you go 30,000 years back, when the um, human revolution started. What is human revolution actually? When human came down from the tree as a monkey or ape, and they started discovering something new. They figured out something new, that they have the ability to walk, they have the ability to run, they have the ability to, you know, hunt better than a lion, And 12,000 years ago, they discovered that they can do through the agriculture, they can produce much more food, that they don't have to depend on hunting. And even 500 years ago, they have developed through the scientific research and all that so many things, that they don't have to to kill someone, they don't have to use the sword, they can just press the button of and they can destroy the entire city. It all happened 200 years ago. There's nothing new happening. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, these were all things that was there in Greek period also. But nothing is more powerful than the mother nature. One single virus kept you into your house for complete 2 months, and into fear about 3 years, and lost gave you a complete loss, destruction of economically. You are still not able to overcome with that, no matter how first your TV channels talk about but development, but you're still not getting that far. That virus has destroyed you a lot. It's all about that you're fighting with the nature. You are doing the intrusion into something that you are not supposed to. So let's get back to the artificial intelligence part. Cloud computing. These are the tools that gives the ease for expanding and running the businesses. It's not supposed to take somebody's job. When it takes suppose some takes somebody's job, and there's no good leadership in a country, there's no good leadership in a society, there's no good leadership within the organization. Why an organization? I won't take a name of a company. It's an Indian IT giant, which is consistently losing its share price. Why? Because they are not able to grab the new customer. They are not able to. They provide some sort of IT services, but they're not able to touch the pulse of the customer. What is customer wanting at the moment? They all had complex data centers with Nexus switches and all that. But what they want is smooth migration, application running without any degradation, availability, resilience, insurance, assurance of service availability at a lower speed, feasible, or what I would say, reasonable cost, I would say. So that's where your focus should be as a company owner. That at a reasonable cost, what sort of technology you can use, what sort of tools you can use to ensure the businesses that you already own or that you have ownership of providing services, you provide a better service to them. You don't lose hope. Riverbed has gone, Ipanema has gone, but something new is coming. The internet has not gone. Internet is evolving every day. Internet has become the medium of the business since 1990. Those who adopted it for at a first, they are still at the top. AWS at the top. It started, thinking about cloud computing, something that I will be discussing later on. Doing the comparison of all major cloud providers, especially the leader AWS, then Azure, then Google Cloud Platform, financially, economically, and technically as well, what all services they provide, starting from compute, storage, networking, and all that infrastructure that I'll be discussing more. That will be a technical discussion. But right now, I wanted to keep it social and a layman term that everybody understand it. So, what is my point is, as a student, you are supposed to ask question to your teacher, why? As a child of your parent, you are supposed to ask questions. Why do I do worship? When you ask question, when you get relevant answers, definitely you may not get rid of what faith you follow, but you may follow with more heart into it. When you do something with heart into it, you get a better result, you get a better outcome of your own self. So, to cut the long story short, it is very important to understand the meaning of anything. Why why there are, in the surround, when you go to a mountain, when you go to a hill station, you just sit there and see the surroundings, and you talk to a nature. The nature itself will go and answer the questions that you have. And that's what happened to Gautama Buddha. He never went to a preacher, or a teacher, or some religious scholar. He tried to find it himself. Something's already sitting there. But yes, there are times when you have to take help from others, and you have to take help from Google. There's a time when you have to take help from the books which are already there. There are people, those who already have got the answers, you have to ask them. So try asking a question. Question could be relevant, irrelevant, but it should make sense at the end when you get the answer, and it should change your life. At the end, it's all about getting out of the shell which you are covered in, which is not letting you to go out and make best version of yours. Forget about chat GPT, forget about artificial intelligence and machine learning and all that. It will continue and may get disrupted at one time. When there is a fiber cut, when there's a connectivity failure, everything will be down. And who knows what will happen in the future. If one year we were in the fear of third world war because of Russian Ukraine conflict, we have so many territorial dispute with our own country, and somebody has also predicted that the 7.5 magnitude earthquake may uh, you know shake another continent of the world. So just be happy, do pray regularly, go for an exercise, ask the question. Thank you so much for listening to me patiently, and do log on to my channel for upcoming video on cloud comparison. I'm so sorry, the comparison of cloud providers, vendor, the AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the evening. Bye bye.